Hello again, everyone. This is Michael Cheek with Mike'sGuitarLessons.com. We're going to continue Any Way You Want It by Journey, and this is going to be the verse. This comes in directly after the intro that we just learned in the first video, so if you haven't watched that, it's a good idea to go ahead and watch it. But we are going to have to learn at least one new chord for this section, and it's really more of a traditional chord than we used in the first part of it on the intro. We used kind of a D chord in that first video, but we're going to actually use a real D chord here. So, and it's going to have an F sharp pedal on it. So what this is like this. If you know the D chord, then you'll recognize this. I've got my, remember the strings are E, B, G, D, A, and E. And on this first E string, I'm going to put my middle finger in the second fret, playing that note. On the B string, I'm going to put my third finger in the third fret, playing that note. And on the G string, I'm going to put my first finger in the second fret, playing that note. Okay? I've got the D string open and the A string open. Now what I'm going to do here that you don't always do is I'm going to use my thumb to come around and play the second fret on this thickest E string right here. Okay? Now, we don't use that chord right off the bat, so you don't have to worry about it right at the beginning, but it comes in pretty quickly. So what we've got here is the end of our intro coming in. So if you remember, we played our intro, and then at the very end we played that G5 right there. Okay? Well, after you play that G5, you're going to start palm muting this lowest string here, this thickest E string. When I say lowest, I mean lowest note. I know it's physically higher on the guitar, but I just mean this thickest E string here. We're going to palm mute, and remember, palm muting is just where, let me actually angle the guitar or the camera so you can see a little better. You're going to put this part of your hand right here, the heel on the palm of your hand, on the string that you're playing. Now you don't do it way up here because it mutes too much. So you got to do it way back here by the bridge. This is the bridge. So you get that sound. That's what we want it to sound like. Okay, so that's palm muting. Now you're going to palm mute that third fret on the E string that you have pressed down inside your G5 chord. You're going to palm mute that 4 times. Actually, let me see. It might be 5 times. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be 5 times. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to switch chords. Okay, now you're going to switch chords to the D that I just showed you. So after you play that G5 at the end of the intro and palm mute that E string 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to switch to that D that we just learned. So go ahead and switch to it, and you're going to play the whole D 2 times. Okay, now if you'd like to, you can try to leave out this E string here because it's not real prevalent, but it doesn't really hurt the sound, so I don't really worry about it too much. So actually, let me do this. There we go. Now you're going to play that D chord twice. After you play it twice, then you're going to start palm muting that E string again, but now it's second fret, and you're going to palm mute that 5 times. Okay. After you palm mute that note 5 times, now we're going to go to our E power chord again. What that is we use that in the intro where we've got open on the E string and second fret on the A and the D string. Okay? You're going to play that chord twice. Okay? Remember, you're not playing any other strings, just those 3 that I told you. So play that chord twice and then palm mute that note 6 times. Okay? So let's go back over that and review a little bit. Coming in from your intro, you play this G5 chord. Then you palm mute the E string on the 3rd fret on the E string 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you switch to your D chord with your F sharp pedal here that your thumb is playing, and play that chord twice, and then palm mute this E string 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're switching to our E power chord. You're going to play that twice. And then palm mute that note, that E string, thick E string, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Now you're going to have that riff that you had before in the intro again, except it's a little shorter. It's just going to go. You start over. So what that is after you play 6 palm mutes on that E power chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then you're going to go to the 3rd fret of the A string, play that note and vibrato it, then 2nd fret, then 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then you switch to your G5 again and play the chord twice. Now what that is starting back over in the riff. This time you play the G5 twice. I know you only played it once coming out of the intro, but this time you play it twice. And then everything just keeps going. You play everything again that we just did. And to show you what I mean, I'll play through it slowly a couple of times. Okay? So I'm going to come out of the intro like this. Okay, I played that 5 times. Now I'm going to go to my D. Now I'm going to go to my E power chord. And now I'm going to play those single notes. And now I'm going back to my G5. And then to my D. To my E. So you can see I'm going back through there again. And that's basically how the verse goes. I know I laid out the exact number of times you palm mute these notes and things like that. But honestly, the best way to play this kind of thing is just to kind of feel your way through the music and not have to count exactly how many times you strum. Especially because when I go through that kind of stuff, it's easy for me to accidentally say the wrong number of times you strum something, and mistakes can be made easier that way. The best way to do it is just kind of feel it, you know. So kind of go along with the song and kind of feel where the changes are made. Okay, so you can kind of see I'm not really counting it there. I'm just going through there and playing the notes and kind of feeling the changes as they come up. Now, that's the verse, and there's nothing different that you do when you're going to go into your chorus. So that's the verse, and that's the only way you have to play it. You just play that until you hear the chorus comes up. I'm going to make a different video for the chorus, so learn the first video, then make sure you learn this one after that, and then the chorus is coming up next. We're going to use a lot of the same chords, so this isn't going to be too bad as far as the chorus is concerned. So